Hello, my name is Stephen Manderson, better known to most people as a rapper from East London, a place called Hackney to be exact, in England, and the name I perform under is Professor Green. My introduction to music was quite traumatic. I was brought up by my grandmother, who used to play a lot of Jason Donovan and Kylie Minogue, which, as you can imagine, was not that enjoyable. But fortunately, growing up in Hackney and it being a very multicultural environment, when I started playing out, I started to hear a lot of different types of music, from ragga to reggae to jungle, which was actually the first music I really got into. And then after that came rap music, rock music, trip hop, and pretty much everything in between. Apart from techno and heavy metal. I fucking hate techno and heavy metal. Progression, in some way, shape or form. If you listen to my first mixtape, Lecture Number 1, it was mostly freestyles over other people's beats. I was still learning the art and even the idea of writing songs. You know, I began a freestyler and a battle rapper, so that was my initial transition into that world. The progression from Lecture Number 1 to Alive Till I'm Dead is huge. You know, I become very familiar with melody. My songwriting got, I hope, a lot better, and it was much broader. And that brings us up to the jump from Alive Till I'm Dead to At Your Inconvenience, my second album. There was only a year between albums, but I think the biggest change was that I found confidence in my voice. You know, from the success of the first album, the process of making the first album, the promoting and the touring of the first album, I really found a confidence in my voice, both in how I approached the recording process, but also in getting my ideas across. So I went into the second album with a very clear direction, and I didn't feel any way about getting my ideas across, even if that meant humming and making stupid noises to explain to producers what I wanted. And with that came a very broad album, and an entirely cohesive one, because from the artwork to the music to the videos, my ideas played a part in all of them, and I think that helps it all tie in quite nicely. I write most of the lyrics, even the melodic parts, which I don't sing myself, but I don't have an incredibly capable singing voice, so I quite often collaborate with people who will do a much better job than I will. I love hip hop. Ever since I fell into it, you know, there's as much as I listen to rock music, to trip hop, to dubstep, to so many other genres, there's no genre I love like I do hip hop. I think it's just lost a little bit of substance. You know, it's still out there if you look for it, but mainstream. You know, it's nice to hear a rapper who has something to say apart from how much his watch costs and what car he drives and how many bitches and hoes he's got. You know, like Biggie did it, but Biggie did it with class. You know, there was an intelligence to it. It wasn't just about boasting. And I think as long as there is something smart in the way you do it, then cool, it's fine to boast, but it's nice to have a little bit of substance as well. So my only gripe would be that perhaps we need a little bit more substance and a little bit less. I don't know, what would be the best word for it? I think it's become a little bit blunt. It would be nice if it was a little bit less materialistic. You know, for the last 2 years, everything's gone pretty well back home. In the UK, I've achieved pretty decent success, but you know, my aims going forward are to travel everywhere I possibly can with the music, and to try and see happen what happened at home, happen everywhere else. And also to stay relevant, you know, for in 10 years' time to still be releasing albums when I'm 38, you know, would be brilliant. So I guess my aims are to take it farther and further, and more of the same.